my next what if thing. So yesterday I poured these two. They are polyurethane, and I've been experimenting with the Cerantica waxes, and this is metallic pink, and I've just been using a little bit on this guy. And what I've been doing, I'm going to bring it up to the screen so you can see a bit more detail. I've been pushing it into the hollows. So I haven't primed this at all. This is just pure resin, unprimed, and it's sticking everywhere. It's amazing. So this was a bit of an experiment, as with everything. Trial and error. So of course there's a little bit more staying in the grooves. And I don't know if you can see that shimmer. It's just gorgeous. I've got a few more colors, so I thought I would experiment with him with some of the blue, the turquoise, and the gold. This is Oro Metallico, but I call it gold or bronze. This is metallic black. Again, it's quite blue for black. And the gold. So let's have a little bit of blue on his fin. I'm just experimenting to see what will happen. So what happens if? What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? Let's get some of this in the... It looks quite black going on, but it's definitely a deep blue. I'm wanting the darker color in the grooves. So I'm pushing it in. I'm wanting it even, so I'm trying to even it out. This stuff dries permanent, so, and fairly quickly. So I want that off the top. And I just use a wet wipe to and I need a piece of roller towel just to, no, that's a dirty piece of roller towel. Just to dry my brush. And now I'm going to go back to this because I want this just on the surface over there. So I'm basically painting with these waxes to see what happens. So, and I know Olga absolutely hates the smell of these ones. They've got a, to me it's a lovely citrus smell. I guess it's like everything. We don't all like the same perfume, and we don't all like the same things. Imagine that, the world would be a very boring place. I rather like the smell. Okay, so now I've got that going just on the surface, and I'm maybe going to put that on there. I'm just playing the what if game. Okay, there's a little bit too much in of the dark in there. I'm really fussy. Let's go back to doing this edge. And let's make these guys turquoise. Believe me, this stuff on my mats, I mean, this is a non-stick craft sheet. And these things stick like crazy to the non-stick craft sheet. So I'm working with Jennifer, I'm working with the new waxes by Stamperia. Cerantica. Cerantica. Says the dyslexic. I could have a few letters wrong there. So I haven't primed this with gesso or anything. I'm just experimenting to see what will happen straight onto the polyurethane or resin as they call it here. And what color shall I make? The rest of him is all going to be pink, I think. Maybe I'll make these turquoise. It's quite soft, the color. If this was on black, it would really, really pop. But I don't have black resin. Yeah. I guess I could have spray painted it. But I wanted to just experiment and see what would happen if. What would happen if? And if you get it where you don't want it, you have to take it off straight away because it is permanent when dry. So I'm just using a wet wipe. So I was a bad girl and I went off onto my dark colors. I broke my own rule. I always teach my students to work from light to dark, because I don't want this dark color that's in my brush to come onto the light areas. And because these are quite transparent, they're not going to cover each other up. So let's go back to painting. Yeah, you see the green is coming out in my pink still. Bad girl. Can my seahorse be a guy? Happy little seahorse. This is more like rose gold to me. It's called, now where's my lid? It's called metallic pink. So I'm getting my paint right into those grooves, and don't forget to go around the side. So I've just had a thought. I received with my parcel of stuff the metallic powders from Stamperia. and I was wondering if they would stick to the wet clay. We'll have to try and see. I need to do a little bit more experimenting off screen, I think. But I was too excited not to show you guys today what I had created yesterday, so I want where I'm doubling up, so where I had done this earlier, it's sticking to itself rather nicely. So you can build layers if you're patient. Yes, so this brown, it looks brown I suppose on the screen, but it's pink. It's a brownie pink, kind of a dirty pink, dusty pink. I'm just making sure that I get it into all the nooks and crannies around the side. Let's see what happens if we use my finger. There's a little bit. I want just on this eye. And I'm afraid the brush will go into the nooks and crannies too much. So now I'm just building up some layers here. Yeah, so if I took, so it'll rub itself off if you've just put it on, like I was using my finger to do just now. Yeah, so I'm tapping it on, because if I rub, it's rubbing itself off. But I wanted more color there, and I want more color here. Morning, Antoinette. How is Longabon? How are my boys? How are my boys? I'm calling them your boys. Your gorgeous 3. 4 actually, because you married one. I always talk about my dear husband as my firstborn. For those who haven't heard me say that before, he knows this, so it's not like I'm saying anything he hasn't heard before. So people ask me, how many children have you got? I say 2. I married one and then I had my own. So I'm just building up some layers here on the eye, and I've decided, so I'm trying to balance him. So all the pipes I'm making, and I've decided I'm going to give his nose a little bit of a hint of the green. I'm just playing the what if game. What if I add this? What if I do that? What if? Now I've decided I need a bit more of this dark color. But first I'm going to finish what's on my finger. So I'm overlapping the colors. Hi Marlene. I'm just experimenting today with all the new stuff that Stamperia sent me yesterday for my teacher's position. So learning as I go, using the knowledge that I have from all my years as an art teacher, and just testing to see what will happen if I do this, what will happen if I do that. And I just know that this stuff sticks like crazy to this craft sheet. So I know it's going to stick like crazy to this resin. So these other items, so this guy's resin, he's hard. These three things are the clay that I used earlier, and I've got it upside down. It's the extra light soft clay in white. So we've created a few things with that. Yeah, I'm back to my favorite seahorse, and Optiman is my other favorite, but he's huge. Okay, so I've only got this black, as they call it, in one place, and I feel like he needs it in his eye, in his eyeball. Let me use my new number 3 brush and just get it in his eyeball. And now I want it in a few more of the shadow areas, like underneath his chin and by the hair of his chin. And I think I'll have it a little bit in here. So I want it in the recesses. I'm using a really pointy brush. Yes, just playing along, experimenting, playing the what if game. What if I try this? What if I do that? What if? Okay, so now I need to go back to this brush and clean off the top. And let's put a little bit more of the pink, which looks brown on your screen. Clean this paintbrush, namely my finger, and I'm gonna go back, so in where my finger didn't reach here on this gear, I'm just gonna put a little bit more of the dark wax. Kind of blending them, and I'm doing that underneath. I suppose if this was a proper mechanical character, he would have grease here. Yeah. So maybe it could be grease all the way around. I normally like to put only put the dark colors in the shadows. So I'm pushing that back and pushing that back. And I'll put a little bit more, because as it dries you can then build on top of it, because this stuff dries, in Afrikaans we'd say vas, tight, sticks. So I'm just fiddling in the shadow areas. Basically, I'm playing, and you're watching me play. Where else do I want it? Possibly in here. And around this edge. And they sent me some white. Brand new, haven't opened it. I wonder what the white will do. Oh, it feels delicious. Look at that. Ah, smells nice. Right, let's put some highlights on this guy. Okay, so I'll do my usual. Highlights from this side. So let's put some highlights. It's very soft. And now I've got, oh, there was an air bubble. It's very soft. You don't want too much. So I'm just going to put some highlights on this top bit. Which you can't really see on screen. I think it depends on the angle. So I'm going to make some highlights there. And I'm going to put some highlights on the side. And put some highlights on that side. So I'm just using my finger as a brush. And okay, so that one's got some highlights. Let's highlight the top of this because that would catch the light. That works rather well. Let's highlight maybe a little over here. So this white is not metallic, it's just white. It's like a dead white, which is rather nice. I suppose it looks like it might have some metallic in, but it's yeah, it's rather nice. It's sort of blending in. Okay, I've decided I want some of my darker wax in these grooves. So I'm going to put it over the top and then I'm going to wipe it off. Ah, that looks really nice. Where else can I do that? Let's put some under here so that this looks like it's shadowed. And then with my white and green finger, wipe it off, or in this case spread it out. Let's go back to some green. No, big fat finger got green where I don't want it. So now I'm just playing with the green to link everything up. So I've decided I want that outside edge a bit more green to link these little horn things up. And yeah, I love doing this. So I love just building layers. I have endless patience when it comes to fiddling and experimenting and trying and what happens if, and I think I'm gonna make under here a bit darker because this is supposedly his shadow side. So let's give him some shadows on this side with this black wax. I think that's working quite well. And then maybe I should clean this paintbrush, which is my finger. Yes, you could hear my cat. I don't know what he's up to. Sounds like he's prowling the town. Yeah, no idea what he's up to. My supervisor. So I'm putting some shadow on this side because again I've got my highlight coming from there. So I'm really just wanting to shadow this side, and then the highlight would come from there, so I need to shadow this side again. I always wonder what you guys can actually hear, and I suppose if you've got earphones in you probably hear more than if you don't. Yeah, I have no idea why my cat was... We have conversations with my cat, he talks. So maybe he's just a Helen because there's nobody in the lounge to give him treats. And of course the nose would be on the shadow side over here, definitely under here. And definitely in these grooves. Shadow side here, there we go. And definitely under his chinny chin needs more. And quite possibly, let's put some, I'm in two minds. Do I put shadow on this side of the eye? I think I'm not going to, but I am going to put some shadow in there. And definitely we need some shadow in this groove over here. And we will need shadow on this side of this thing because it's quite raised. And put more shadow over here. The different angles show up different things. Okay, coming back to some pink. So while this is wet, it blends. Okay, what else do I need? Need a little bit more pink here. And I'm just playing. I want a lot of pink there on his tummy. Maybe I'll use my finger. There we go. Sometimes your finger drops more than the brush. So his tummy is now really nice and shiny. I will take a photograph. I'm not sure if you can see because the camera doesn't really pick up. I was trying to work up closer to the screen so you can see the shininess of it. But of course my phone is creating a shadow on him as I'm trying to show. So I've got the blue metallic there, I've got a nice strong shadow there, shadow in there, and I'm just busy building color on there, and I want a bit more of the pink there. So I've got quite a lot on my finger, and I'm gonna build a highlight there, which of course is going over where I've got my green, but I can come back with the green because the green is a darker color. And in fact, if I'm fast enough with my million other fingers, I can just take that excess off. But I want the green, I want the pink there. Okay, so let's just clean my paintbrush. And let's build a little bit more green around here. I'm just building the intensity because these go on very transparent, and you can just build your color intensity with layers as they dry. They dry quite quickly. I'm trying to see if it's in focus, because of course it's difficult to see on here if I'm in focus. Put some of the green back on there. And then I think he's done. He's back to being a him. Can't help it. Just using what's on my finger to pick up these grooves around here. Trying not to break your ears by talking right up to the camera. Where did I see that I needed more? There. Giving these some green. Yeah, I think he's done. Okie dokie, people. That was fun. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for coming to watch. And I'm going to hold him up. I hope my camera focuses. He's nice and shiny. I have no idea what I'm going to use him on, but he just looks gorgeous. That was fun. Playing with my new paints. Waxes, actually. I will see you all on Thursday with an art project. Bye, guys.